Greetings to everyone, and welcome to today's Internal Awareness session. Welcome, everyone. This is another HSE Internal Awareness session brought to you by the HSE Department. Today, we're going through a comprehensive guide to reporting, investigation, root cause analysis, and lessons learned. The topic is AME incidents and accident investigation. And as always, everything we do is driven by our commitment to zero harm. Here's what we'll cover. We'll start with awareness objectives and deliverables, then move into scope and applicability. We'll go through key definitions and categories, severity classification and investigation mandates, and roles and responsibilities. Then we'll look at the incident workflow overview, root cause analysis methods, and the forms you will use. We'll also cover vehicle and road safety incidents, client-led investigations and medical emergencies, corrective and preventive actions or CAPA and closeout, performance measurement and KPI linkage, and finally key takeaways and next steps. So what are you going to learn today? First, you'll learn the purpose and scope of our incident reporting system. Second, you'll be able to identify severity levels and determine investigation requirements. Third, you'll master proper documentation and preservation techniques. Fourth, you'll learn to choose the right analysis method for each incident type. Fifth, you'll know how to implement corrective actions and track their effectiveness. You'll also understand why incident reporting matters, know the reporting triggers and timelines, understand the investigation steps, recognize RCA tools and forms, and finally, link your findings to CAPA and KPI improvement. What skills will you gain from this session? You'll be able to identify severity levels and determine investigation requirements. You'll understand reporting timelines and communication channels. You'll master proper documentation and preservation techniques. You'll choose the right analysis method for each incident type. And you'll implement corrective actions and track their effectiveness. More specifically, you'll learn to classify incidents correctly, notify the right parties within deadlines, preserve evidence, support interviews and investigation teams, and follow actions through closure and lessons learned. All of this is about moving from reactive measures to preventive systems required by international standards. So why does reporting and investigation matter so much? Let me give you the core benefits. First, protecting people. That means safeguarding our employees, contractors, and visitors from harm. Second, meeting legal and client obligations, ensuring compliance with UAE regulations and client requirements. Third, preventing repeat events, identifying underlying issues so we can stop similar incidents from happening again. Fourth, improving controls, strengthening our safety systems and risk mitigation. And fifth, supporting management review, providing data for informed decision-making. Now, what does good reporting deliver? Faster response, enabling quicker incident resolution and containment. Better evidence quality, ensuring accurate documentation and preservation. Stronger corrective actions, leading to more effective preventive measures. Trend visibility, identifying patterns for proactive risk management. And a stronger, just culture, building trust and encouraging open reporting. Remember this: every incident, every near miss, and every hazard is a learning signal. Let's talk about scope and applicability. This incident reporting system applies to all AME personnel, contractors, visitors, anyone working at client sites, and any journey incidents where employment is involved. First, AME facilities and sites. That covers all our locations including Mega Base in IC82, Abu Dhabi, our operational bases and client sites where AME performs services. Second, client and contractor sites. This includes activities at external or client locations where AME provides services and associated operations, based on client and contractor approvals. That means client-controlled facilities, contractor work areas, and external project sites. Third, journey and transport. This covers all work-related journeys including transport, mobilization, and travel between locations. So work-related travel, transport activities, and any journey incidents are all included. In short, people, work activities, and client or road travel. Now let's turn to Slide 8, presented by the HSE Department. This slide helps us understand incident types, classifications, and reporting requirements through key definitions and categories. Let me walk you through everything on this slide, including the tables in detail. First, we have an incident classification matrix. Let me explain each item in this matrix. Fatalities. This means any work-related death. This is the most severe classification. LDI. LDI stands for lost time injury. This is a work-related injury that causes an employee to lose one or more full days of work, excluding the day of the injury. RWC. RWC stands for restricted work case. This is a work-related injury or illness where an employee cannot perform all of their routine job functions or cannot work a full workday, even though they have not lost time from work. MTC. MTC stands for medical treatment case. This is a work-related injury or illness requiring treatment by a physician or other licensed healthcare professional beyond first aid. So the incident classification matrix includes fatalities, LTI, RWC, and MTC. Next, we have reportable categories. Let me explain each category. The first reportable category is environmental. This includes spills, releases, and pollution. The second reportable category is health and safety. This includes injuries, illnesses, and near misses. The third reportable category is vehicle and journey. This includes work-related travel incidents. So the reportable categories are environmental, health and safety, and vehicle or journey. Finally, we have key reportable events. There are 4 of them. First, fatality. Second, serious injury. Third, dangerous occurrence. Fourth, major environmental. These 4 events must always be reported immediately. Now this is important. Severity classification and investigation mandates. Let me walk you through the matrix. For a catastrophic incident, that means a fatality, a major environmental incident, property damage over 500,000 AED, or multiple serious injuries. The investigation is mandatory and immediate. No opt-out allowed. You must report within 24 hours, produce a final report within 1 month, and notify a DOSH within 24 hours. The RCA methods required are Pareto analysis, 5Y, and fishbone. For a serious incident, that includes lost time injury or LTI, a reportable serious injury, a dangerous occurrence, or an LPR violation. The investigation is mandatory within 24 hours with HSE manager approval. Report within 24 hours, final report within 1 month, and a DOSH notification within 24 hours. The methods are fishbone plus 5Y, a full investigation. For a minor incident, that means restricted work case or RWC, medical treatment case or MTC, first aid case or FAC, or property damage between 10,000 and 100,000 ED, RWC and MTC require mandatory investigation. FAC is recommended. Report within 48 hours, complete investigation within 2 weeks, and provide a monthly summary. The method is 5Y analysis, a basic investigation. For a near miss, investigation is recommended, but mandatory if it's high potential. Report within 10 days, or within 7 days for high potential near misses. Provide a monthly summary. Use 5Y or fishbone if it's high potential. And remember, classification may be upgraded if new facts emerge during the investigation. Listen up. When an incident happens, you need to know exactly who to call, how fast, and what paperwork to use. Let me walk you through it. First, every single incident, no matter how small, gets reported internally. You've got 24 hours to notify the HSE department and your department manager. Use Form G Part A, Incident Notification. But here's a heads up. The key points section says 48 hours for that same form. You'll want to check which deadline your site follows. When in doubt, go with the shorter one. Now, if things go really wrong, a fatality, serious injury, or dangerous occurrence, that's a whole different level. You must notify the HSE manager, the general manager, and a DOSH. Same deadline, 24 hours. But don't just file a form. You make an immediate notification, phone call, text, whatever it takes, and then you back it up with Form G Part A. Once the dust settles, you've got 30 calendar days to deliver the final investigation report. That goes to the HSE manager and, if there's a client involved, to them as well. You'll fill out Form G Part B, Investigation Report. What about incidents that happen on a client's site? Those are tricky. You'll notify the client's HSE team, your own AME HSE focal point, and the corporate HSE department. But the deadline? That depends on your contract or the site's own rules. You'll need to use both the client's specific forms and the AME forms. Stay organized. Twice a year, every 6 months, you pull together a semi-annual incident summary that goes to top management and a DOSH. The format is your EHA's performance report. One last thing, and this is important. Document everything immediately. Photos, witness statements, what the weather was like, anything you see. Don't wait. Early reporting is always better. Delays ruin investigations and get you in trouble with regulators. So remember, know your trigger, know your deadline, and when in doubt, report it yesterday. Earlier reporting is always preferred because delays can compromise investigation quality and regulatory compliance. For internal reporting, use Form G Part A within 48 hours for all incidents. For a DOSH notification, this is required for fatalities, serious injuries, and dangerous occurrences. For client coordination, the AME HSE focal point manages all client communication. Here's a tip. Document everything immediately. Photos, witness statements, environmental conditions. Don't wait. Clear accountability is critical. Let me explain everyone's role. The site or workshop supervisor or first aider is responsible for immediate response and scene preservation. That means secure the incident scene, provide first aid, make the initial report and notify HSE, preserve evidence and gather witness information, and coordinate with emergency services. The HSE officer or engineer handles investigation and classification. They classify the incident severity and initiate the investigation, collect evidence and interview witnesses, lead the RCA and determine root causes, and prepare the investigation reports. The HSE manager or supervisor provides investigation oversight and coordination. They oversee the investigation process and team, coordinate with a DOSH or client investigations if applicable, review and approve investigation reports, and ensure compliance with regulations. The department manager or line manager is responsible for resource allocation and implementation. They provide resources for the investigation, implement corrective actions, participate in the investigation team, and monitor CAPA implementation. Here is our 8-step incident workflow. And a quick note before we start. Use Form G Part A first, then Part B or the applicable forms. Ensure all evidence is documented and preserved. Step 1. Make safe, preserve the scene, and provide first aid. Step 2. Notify, classify the incident, and report it. Step 3. Form team, assemble the investigators. Step 4. Collect evidence, gather all data and records. Step 5. Analyze, conduct root cause analysis to find root causes. Step 6. Define CAPA, determine corrective and preventive actions. Step 7. Report, communicate your findings. Step 8. Verify and close. Check that actions are effective, then close the case. Let me break down the first 4 steps in more detail. Step 1. Make safe and preserve the scene. Secure the area, provide first aid, and prevent further harm. Do not disturb evidence unless safety requires it. Step 2. Notify and classify. Report within 24 hours using Form G Part A. Classify the severity and notify all relevant parties. Step 3. Form the team. Assemble the investigation team based on severity. Include HSE, line supervisors, and worker representatives. Step 4. Collect evidence. Gather photos, witness statements, and documents like permits to work, job safety analysis, and training records. Now let's talk about evidence collection essentials. This is critical. For interview basics, follow these key principles. Ask open questions. Use what, how, and why to get detailed responses. Separate facts from opinions. Focus on observable events, not speculation. And record exact statements. Document verbatim quotes. For scene preservation, secure the incident scene immediately. Do not disturb evidence unless safety requires it. Prevent unauthorized access and document the scene conditions. For photos and video, take photos from multiple angles. Include both wide shots and close-ups. Record video of the incident scene or obtain it from CCTV, which we call GITS, and document lighting and weather conditions. For witness interviews, interview witnesses within 24 hours. Record their statements separately. Get their contact information and document all interview details. For documents and records, collect permits to work or PTW, job safety analysis or JSA, risk assessments, training and competency records, maintenance and calibration logs, and previous incident history. For physical evidence, secure any tools or PPE involved, document the equipment condition, check maintenance records, and verify equipment integrity status. Let's look at investigation team composition and competence requirements based on severity. For a catastrophic incident, the typical team includes the general manager, department manager, HSE manager, internal or external experts, and a client representative. The team leader is the HSE manager. Minimum competence requires trained investigation techniques, RCA competency in at least 2 methods, and over 5 years of HSE experience. The RCA method combines Pareto, 5Y, and Fishbone. For a serious incident, the team includes the department manager, HSE department, HSE supervisor or engineer, and line supervisor. The team leader is the HSE manager or supervisor. Competence requires investigation training, RCA competency in 2 methods, and over 3 years of HSE experience. The methods are Fishbone plus 5Y. For a minor incident, the team includes the HSE officer or engineer, line supervisor, and worker rep, with medical support if needed. The team leader is the HSE engineer or officer. Competence requires basic investigation training, RCA competency in 1 method, and over 2 years of HSE experience. The method is 5Y analysis. For a near miss, the team includes the HSE officer or engineer and line supervisor. The team leader is the HSE engineer or officer. Competence requires basic investigation skills and RCA awareness, with over 2 years of HSE experience. The method is 5Y, or Fishbone if it's high potential. Now, what are the leader competency requirements? First, training and certification, formal training in investigation methodologies, evidence collection, witness interviewing, and report writing. Second, RCA methodology, competent in at least 2 RCA methods, like 5Y, Fishbone, or Pareto, for serious or catastrophic incidents. Third, AME/HSMS knowledge, a strong understanding of AME procedures, life protection rules, and regulatory requirements. And fourth, communication skills, objective communication, interviewing, and facilitation skills for team leadership. Now let's dive into our root cause analysis methods. Start with facts, then move from direct causes to underlying system causes. Select the appropriate RCA tool based on incident severity and complexity. First, 5Y analysis. This traces the causal chain by asking why repeatedly until you identify the root cause. It's simple and effective for straightforward incidents. Best used for straightforward minor incidents and near misses. Second, the Fishbone diagram. This groups causes under 6 categories: people, process, equipment, materials, environment, and management. Best used for serious, catastrophic, or complex events. Third, Pareto analysis. This highlights the vital few causes that drive most events using the 80-20 rule. It's great for trend analysis across multiple incidents. A quick note, minor events usually use 5Y. Serious or catastrophic events require Fishbone and or Pareto as defined by AME. Let me walk you through the forms you will use. Form G Part A is the incident notification. Use this for initial incident notification within 24 hours of occurrence. It captures basic incident details, severity classification, and immediate actions. Key fields are date and time, location, injured person information, description of what happened, and reporter information. Notification deadline, 24 hours. Form G Part B is the investigation report. Use this for all incidents that require investigation. It captures the detailed narrative, root cause analysis, corrective actions, and witness statements. Key fields include investigation team, root causes, and corrective actions. Investigation deadline, 30 days. The vehicle incident investigation form is for road safety and vehicle-related incidents. It captures driver details, vehicle condition, and environmental factors. Key fields include IVMS data, fatigue assessment, and damage assessment. This is needed immediately. Then we have the RCA forms. 45Y, that's Form 84, simple chain analysis for minor incidents. For Fishbone, that's Form 85, category-based RCA for serious events. For Pareto, that's Form 86, trend analysis across multiple incidents. Remember, use the correct form set based on incident type and severity. Start with Form G Part A for all incidents. Then select the appropriate RCA tools based on complexity. Vehicle and road safety incidents require comprehensive reporting. Here's what you need to capture. For incident details, date, time, exact location, GPS coordinates if available, incident type like collision or single vehicle, weather conditions, and road surface type. For vehicle and driver information, vehicle type, make and model, license plate number, driver name and ID, license number, years of experience, and defensive driving training status. For road and environment, road surface condition, lighting conditions, traffic density, speed limit at the location, and estimated vehicle speed. For injuries and damage, injury severity assessment, medical attention required, vehicle damage evaluation, authority report reference, and insurance details. For contributing factors, human factors like fatigue or distraction, vehicle or technical factors, environmental factors, safety device tampering check, and interference assessment. Always use the dedicated vehicle incident investigation form for any work-related driving and journey incidents covered by AME. Sometimes incidents happen at client-controlled sites. Here's how that works. At client-controlled sites, the client facility's HSE department assigns the investigation team leader and has primary authority. AME's role is to provide subject matter experts, work procedures, and documentation, all for employee safety protection, EHSMS improvement, and lessons learned. You will serve as the primary contact between AME and the client HSE department, and you must make involved personnel, subject matter experts, and documentation available to the client team. Now for medical emergency coordination. Immediate response and notification means call the client facility's emergency number and provide first aid using trained first aiders. The notification chain is site supervisor to HSE manager to general manager to HR and PR for family notification. The HR manager contacts the emergency contact with incident details and support. Preserve the incident scene unless there is immediate danger, and only authorized personnel can provide information to the media. In summary, the client may lead the investigation. AME supports with subject matter experts, records, and personnel availability. AME may run a parallel internal review. The HSE focal point acts as liaison. We ensure personnel and document availability. We provide immediate on-site response and first aid. We handle management notification, family notification through HR, scene preservation, and controlled external communication. AME supports the client process while still meeting AME reporting and duty of care requirements. Now let's go through the 6-step CAPA and closeout process. And a critical note before we start. Actions must address root causes, not only immediate fixes. Step 1. Define actions. Analyze your investigation findings to determine specific corrective actions that address the root causes. Step 2. Assign owner and due date. Designate a responsible person and set a realistic completion timeline. Step 3. Record an ERP or tracker. Document all actions in the ERP system and maintain a clear audit trail. Step 4. Implement and verify evidence. Deploy any temporary measures and verify that you have evidence of implementation. Step 5. Check effectiveness. Conduct a follow-up audit to confirm that the actions have actually resolved the issue. Step 6. Close and communicate. Finalize the case and share lessons learned with all stakeholders. Our communication outputs include HSE alerts, toolbox talks, updates to our database, and input to management review. This slide explains the key performance indicators, or KPIs, used to monitor environmental, health, and safety performance within the organization. These indicators help track safety trends, identify risks, measure corrective actions, and evaluate the effectiveness of safety programs. The table on the left side lists the main safety performance indicators, what each indicator measures, and how frequently the data is monitored and reported. The first KPI is LTIFR, which stands for Lost Time Injury Frequency Rate. This measures the number of lost time injuries that occur per 1 million working hours. Lost time injuries are incidents where employees are unable to return to work immediately because of an injury. The data is calculated monthly, and the information is sourced from the HSE KPI statistics. The second KPI is LTISR, or Lost Time Injury Severity Rate. This measures the severity of injuries by tracking the number of lost workdays per 1,000 working hours. Unlike LTIFR, which focuses on frequency, LTISR focuses on the impact and seriousness of injuries. This metric is also calculated monthly using HSE KPI statistics. Next is TRCF, which refers to total reportable case frequency. This KPI measures the overall number of reportable incidents and is used as a comprehensive indicator of workplace safety performance. It is calculated monthly and reviewed using HSE KPI statistics. The next row highlights trend analysis. This involves reviewing safety performance trends on a monthly or quarterly basis to identify recurring issues, patterns, or areas requiring improvement. The review is carried out quarterly through peer reviews and management reviews. Another important KPI is CAPA count, which stands for corrective and preventive actions. This metric tracks the implementation and closure of actions taken to prevent incidents from occurring. CAPA tracking is reviewed weekly, and the information comes from the HSE performance log. The final KPI listed is training completion. This measures the completion rate of HSE training programs and campaigns. Monitoring training completion helps ensure employees are properly trained and aware of safety requirements. The review is conducted monthly using training records from the ERP system. On the right side of the slide, the key metrics section explains why these indicators are important. It states that injury frequency and injury seriousness are both used to evaluate safety performance. The formulas shown define how each KPI is calculated. LTIFR equals the number of lost time injuries multiplied by 1 million, divided by total working hours. LTISR equals lost workdays multiplied by 1,000, divided by total working hours. TRCF equals total reportable cases multiplied by 100,000, divided by total working hours. At the bottom left, the legend identifies different categories represented in charts or reports. Red represents fatalities. Yellow represents lost time injuries, or LTI. Green represents RWC. And blue represents MTC cases. Overall, this slide demonstrates how the organization uses measurable safety indicators to monitor workplace safety performance, evaluate trends, and support continuous improvement in HSE management. We operate with a just culture. Let me explain our expectations. All reports are treated as learning opportunities, not blame exercises. There is no retaliation for good faith reporting of safety concerns. We focus on system improvements rather than individual fault. We protect reporter identity while ensuring transparency. And we ensure reporters know what actions were taken and why. So when does consequence management apply? When there is deliberate disregard for safety procedures, reckless behavior that puts others at risk, deliberate actions contrary to established policies, or interference with an investigation or unauthorized disclosure of confidential information. In summary, report all incidents, near misses, and hazards. You have good faith protection from retaliation. We focus on learning, not blame. Reporter identity is confidential, and we provide timely feedback to reporters. Intentional violations, gross negligence, willful misconduct, and evidence tampering may lead to consequences. Recognition for valuable reporting reinforces our prevention culture. Let's wrap up with key takeaways and next steps. Remember these core principles. Notify incidents immediately using Form G Part A within 24 hours. Use the severity matrix to determine investigation requirements. Document the scene, gather witness statements, and secure physical evidence. Focus on system failures, not just immediate causes. And verify that corrective actions are implemented and effective. What are your next steps? Select the appropriate forms based on incident type and severity. Notify supervisors and HSE within the required time frames. Provide accurate information and witness statements. Monitor corrective action implementation and effectiveness. And communicate findings to prevent recurrence. In short, report early, classify correctly, preserve evidence, investigate for root causes, close actions effectively. Use the right forms, escalate on time, support interviews, track CAPA, and share lessons learned. Safety is everyone's responsibility, and reporting is the first step to prevention. Safety is everyone's responsibility. Remember that reporting observations and stop work authority systems are only effective when everyone actively participates and follows the established procedures. Your commitment to these safety systems helps protect yourself, your colleagues, and Al Masood Energy's operations and reputation. Let's continue working together to make a positive impact and drive excellence across our organization. Following this awareness session, please take a moment to complete the training evaluation questionnaire, where your understanding will be evaluated through a set of 10 multiple-choice questions covering key aspects of the permit to work and stop work authority systems. Kindly submit your responses to HSE Department for our records.